Good morning, students. So, hope all of you are safe. So, let's start our first chapter of mathematics of 8th class, that is rational number. Okay, so before going to the rational number, we must have to understand how many kinds of number we are having. So, let's take an example. We are having a set and it contains numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So, since this set is containing counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all these are what? They are called natural numbers. Natural numbers. Okay. If you will be adding a zero, a extra zero in this set, now this will become what? This will become whole number, a set of whole numbers. Okay. Now, if you will be adding the negative number in it, like you have added -6, -5, and -3, -2, -1, like this, negative number you have also added, then it will be called integers. They are called what? Integers. So this is the set of integers now. Now, if you will be adding some fractional number in it as well, like you are adding 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 1 by 2, so many numbers, means like all the fractional number it will be adding. Whether they are positive, whether they are negative, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you can add positive as well as negative. So now this will be called, the whole thing will be called rational numbers. Okay, the whole thing will be called what? Rational number. So a rational number set or a rational number group contains natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. Okay, so in this way you can say all the natural numbers are rational numbers. So students, similarly whole numbers will be called rational numbers. So this is it. Moving further, now we have some properties related to numbers. Properties related to numbers. Okay, so there are some basic properties which we will be discussing about the numbers. Okay, the first one is closure property. Closure property. Okay, student. So closure property is what? At first, we must have to understand that all these properties are defined for various type of number and various type of operation. Means, suppose that I am having a set of or a group of natural numbers and I will be using the addition operation. So, I can use the closure property in the sense that is are the natural numbers closed under the operation of addition, are the natural number closed under the operation of subtraction, are the natural number closed under the operation multiplication, similarly for division. Okay, so all of you, as you have seen in the table on the page number 2, that if I will be adding, let's say for the whole number at first, for whole number, so what are the whole numbers? The numbers starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, these are what? Whole numbers. Okay, so if I will be checking out whether the set of whole number, I am having 4 type of operation: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay students, so now here if I will be adding one whole number, 1 is a whole number with another whole number 2, so I will be getting what? 3. So this is a whole number, this is a whole number, and the sum is also a whole number. That means if I will be adding two whole numbers A and B, it gives me another whole number C. So what it is? That means whole number are closed under the operation of addition, or we can say they hold the closure property. Now moving forward, whether they are closed under the operation of subtraction or not. So for that we will be seeing, let's say I am having one number 1, another number 2, subtract them, you will be getting a -1. Is the minus 1 a number in the whole number set? Not obviously. Okay. So minus 1, this group of whole number do not contain only minus 1. So we can say that the set of whole number is not closed under the operation of subtraction. Okay. So now again next example. Let's say multiplication. At first we had done it with the plus, that is operation of addition, operation of subtraction, operation of multiplication, and after that we will be doing it with division. So the multiplication of 1 and 2 gives you what? 2. So here 1 is what? 1 is a whole number, 2 is also a whole number. So the multiplication of two whole numbers is giving you another whole number 2. Okay, so it is also a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed. Whole numbers are closed under the operation of multiplication. Okay, students. So now let's do the same with the division operation. So 1 division 2. What it will be giving you? A half. Do the half is a part of a whole number? No, obviously, okay, because the whole number set do not contain half. So it is, that is, the whole numbers are not closed under the operation of division. So you can say not closed. Now for integers, what are the integers? The negative number -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. The negative number and the positive number. Okay, so they will make what? The set of integer. Again we will be checking for the integer, is it holding the closure property for all the operation or not? So for addition, for subtraction, for multiplication and for division, for all of them we will be checking whether they are closed or not. So for multiplication, let's check it. Let's take two numbers, 0 plus 1 will give you what? 1. It is an integer. Yes, it is an integer. So you can say integers are closed under the operation of addition. Okay. Now for subtraction, let's take the example 1 minus 2. It will give you minus 1. So this is an integer. Yes, it is an integer. This is an integer. Yes, it is also an integer. And this minus 1 is also an integer. So you can say that integers are closed. Integers are closed under the operation of subtraction. So student, now the next, the multiplication. So multiply two numbers, like let's take example minus 2 and 3. It will give you what? Minus 6. So this is an integer. Yes, obviously this is an integer. Yes, and this is also an integer. So you can say integers are closed under the operation of multiplication. Now the last one, division. So let's take example 2 divided by 3. It will give you what? 2 upon 3. 2 upon 3, it is in the set of integers? Not obviously. Okay, so that is why we can say that integers are not closed under the operation of division. So this was for the closure property of integers. The same thing we will be checking, the closure property we will be checking for the rational number as well. What are the rational numbers? Integers and the other fractional numbers like half, 3 by 2, 5 by 2 and so many, means not only these, okay, other numbers as well. okay, they will be called what? Rational number. Actually, the basic definition of rational number is what? The numbers which can be expressed in the form of P upon Q are called rational numbers. Here, Q is not equals to 0 and both P and Q are integers. Okay, so this is the basic definition of a rational number. So, but we will be dealing here with the closure property of rational numbers. So, let's see it. So, for addition, let's take an example, whether it is closed or not. Let's take one rational number 1 upon 2, another rational number 3 upon 2. So, the addition of these two will give you 4 upon 2, that is 2. So, this is a rational number. This is a rational number and this is also a rational number. That is, the addition of two rational numbers is giving you a rational number. That means what? That means rational numbers are closed under the operation of addition. Okay, students. Now see another example. The second one for second one. 1 upon 2 minus 3 upon 2. It will give you what? Minus half. Okay. Sorry, minus 2 upon 2, minus 1 it will give you. So this is a rational number, yes. This is also a rational number and it is also a rational number. So you can say that rational numbers are closed under the operation of subtraction. Now same for the multiplication. Rational number 1 upon 2, rational number 3 upon 2. The multiplication of these two will give you what? 3 upon 4 and it is also a rational number. Okay, because the rational number set contains these numbers as well. So it is, so you can say rational numbers are closed under the operation of multiplication. So now for division we will be saying it. For division it is a unique kind of thing. Okay, so we will be saying it for, let's take one example as half dividing 3 by 2. So it will give you what? Half multiplying 2 by 3. So it will be giving you 1 upon 3. It is a rational number? Yes. Why? Because it can be expressed in the form of P upon Q. So it is a rational number. So directly you can say that rational numbers are closed under the operation of division. But it is not true. Why? Let me show you why. When you will be dividing some number, let's say 2 divided by 0. 0 is a rational number or not? At first we have to check it. Yes, it is a rational number. Why? Because it can be expressed in the form of P upon Q. Here see, 0 upon P, 1 we can write it. To 0 we can write as 0 upon 1. So here it is written as in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. See. Okay, Q is 1, that is not equal to 0. That means 0 is a rational number. Okay, so when we will be dividing one rational number by other rational number, so what it will give? It is not defined. It is not defined. So division by 0 is not defined. That is why we can say that the rational numbers are not closed under the operation of division. So we will write it not closed. The reason is what? Division by 0 is not defined. So now the second property, that is commutativity. So student, for commutativity we will be checking as we had checked in the previous one section, that is the property of closure. Okay, so similarly we will be checking it for whole numbers, integers and rational number one by one. Okay, under all the four operations. So what are those four operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. What is the meaning of commutativity? The meaning of commute means, if you will be, for instance, let's take the example of addition. If I am having two numbers, 1 and 2, then if I will be adding them, 1 plus 2, then it will give me 3. Okay. Now again, the same result I will be getting if I will be adding 2 plus 1. That means the position of the number is what? Interchanged. Okay, the 1 came in the first place in this one section, but in the second it came in the first one section too. So here it is commute or it is commuting. So you can say that whole number follow the commutativity for operation of addition. Okay student, so now for subtraction, let's take 1 minus 2. Operation of subtraction now. So 1 minus 2 will give you minus 1. It will be the same result as I will be doing 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 will give me what? It will give me 1. So these two are not equal. So if I will be interchanging the numbers, the result is not same. The result is not same. That's why we can say that whole number do not hold commutativity under the operation of subtraction. Okay student, now the third for operation of multiplication. The multiplication of 1 into 2 will give us 2. The same result we will be getting if we will be multiplying 2 by 1. Okay, that means we have interchanged the places of number, but we got the same result. So we can say that whole numbers are commute under the operation of multiplication. So now the last one. For the division, let's take 1 divided by 2. It will give you what? Half. Interchange them. 2 divided by 1. It will give you 2 upon 1. Are they same? Half is equal to 2? No, obviously. So you can say that whole numbers do not hold commutativity under the operation of division. Now the integers. Okay, so here are our integers. So let's check whether they commute with these operation or not. Okay, so for the addition one we will be checking. Let's take the example 1 plus 2, or let's take this one as example minus 1 plus 2. What it will give you? It will give you a 1, obviously. Similarly, if you will be doing means interchanging the places, for commutativity means what? If you are using the addition operation, then commutativity means this. If you are using the subtraction operation, then commutativity means this. If you are using the multiplication operation, then commutativity means this. If you are using the division operation, then commutativity means this. Okay students, so now the same thing we will be doing here. So 2 at first and minus 1 at the second place. So it will give you the same answer as 1. So integers commutes or integer holds commutativity under the operation of addition. Now for the subtraction, let's take the example, same example, minus 1, minus 2. What it will give you? It will give you minus 3. Okay, but if you will be interchanging the places, minus 2 and minus of minus 1, so it will give you what? 2 plus 1 minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1. Are they equal? Are they equal? Not obviously. So the integers do not hold commutative property under the operation of subtraction. Okay, so they do not hold under the operation of subtraction. Now for the multiplication. So when we will be multiplying, let's say minus 2 with 3, what it will give you? Minus 6 obviously. The same answer you will be getting if you will be multiplying 3 at first and the minus 2 at the second place if you will put it, you will be getting the same answer as minus 6. Okay, that means what? Integers commutes or integer holds commutativity property under the operation of multiplication. Now for division, the same thing is here. 1 divided by 2, it will give you half. Okay, and 2 divided by 1 will give you 2 upon 1. Okay, are they equal? Not obviously. So they do not hold or integers do not hold commutative property under the operation of division. So now let's check the commutative property for rational numbers. So here are our rational numbers. Okay. So now for addition, all of us know what is meant by commute. Okay. So now for addition we will be checking. Let's take the example 3 by 2 plus 5 by 2. It will give you 8 by 2. Okay, that is 4. If rational numbers are commutative under the operation of addition, so if we will be interchanging the places of these two numbers, we will be getting the same answer. Okay. So 5 by 2 plus 3 by 2. We have changed the places. Okay. So 5 by 2 in the place of 3 by 2 and 3 by 2 in the place of 5 by 2. Now it has got what? 8 by 2 again. That is 4. That means in both the cases we are getting the same answer. Okay. So it means that what? Rational number commutes under the operation of addition. Okay. Now for subtraction. 3 by 2, let's take it again, minus 5 by 2 will give you minus 2 by 2, that is minus 1. Okay, interchange them. 5 by 2 minus 3 by 2. Will it give the same result? No, obviously, because we are getting here minus 1 and here 1 by interchanging the places of these numbers. So we can say that rational numbers are not commute under the operation of subtraction. Now for the multiplication. So again 3 by 2 into 5 by 2, it will give you 15 upon 4. Okay. Now interchange the places. 5 by 2 into 3 by 2, it will give you 15 upon 4 again. Okay. So by interchanging the places, we are getting the same value. That means rational number do hold commutative property under the operation of multiplication. Now the division. For division, we will be checking it. 3 by 2 divided by 5 by 2. What that means? That means 3 by 2 multiplied by 2 by 5. What it will give you? It will give you 3 upon 5. Okay, let's check whether it commutes or not. So we will be interchanging the places. So 5 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. So what it will happen? So the division sign will multiply and this will reciprocal out. So it will become 2 by 3. The 2 and 2 will cancel out. So you will be getting a 5 by 3. Are these two numbers equal? Not obviously. So we can say that rational numbers do not hold commutative property under the operation of division. Okay, students?